Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to the lecture. So, in this lecture, we'll see about the 20 plastering, which is called as outside plastering, and then we'll check even the ceiling plastering. Okay, most of the things remains the same. I've taken the clause here and kept it here for our understanding. Okay, so nothing much change will happen. Uh, I'll start again with this. That is for 10 square meter. Here the mortar ratio is 1:4. Okay. And now how did this 0.224 came into existence? It's very simple again. So what you're supposed to do, you're doing for 10 square meter. Your thickness is 20 mm. So it will be 0.020. So if I do that, I'm getting 0.2. But here it is given 0.224. So for a 20 mm plastering, you're supposed or you are allowed to do a 12 mm wastage. So I'll put 1.12. Okay. So if I multiply this by 1.12, I'm getting 0.224. That is how 0.224 has come into existence. Okay. Now who will decide all these things? So people have seen that over the years and they have found that in a 20 mm plaster, we can go up to a 12 mm wastage. So that doesn't mean that you are supposed to do the wastage because it's written we'll do the wastage. No, wastage as far as possible in the construction industry, we are supposed to minimize. But sometimes what happens is wastage will happen. But till how long we can allow the wastage to happen is in a 20 mm plaster, you can allow up to 12%. Very simple. Got it, no? That's it. Now coming to the mortar, this is 1:4. So that is why we have put this rate of 3713. Rest labor part, you know, mason, coolie, bisty, and all these things, you know how it has to be put. You do the total, you'll get the answer. Then you add 1% water charge on that. Then you'll put a GST on that. You'll put a contractor profit of 15%. You'll put 1% of cess on that. You'll get 4021. You divide it by 10, you get 402. So if you want to do the outside plastering, it will cost you around 402 rupees per square meter. And we have seen through a BOQ also. You see here 421 is coming. How much we got? 420. We had seen through different BOQ also that outside plastering is little expensive in comparison to the internal plastering. And also you come to the scaffolding part. In the outside plastering, you can add scaffolding part little higher. Like for example, in the inside we were putting some 30 rupees. No, here you can go near about 35 or 40 rupees. The reason is that, okay, the reason is that, see, outside plastering in the sense, for example, if this is my building, if this is my building of a G+5, this is plinth, this is first floor, let us say second, third, fourth, and fifth. If I want to do the plastering of this much area, what I do, I'm gonna put wooden props or wooden bullies here, and then I provide a platform, isn't it? Then again, I'll keep another wooden bullies, I'll put a platform. Okay, and then another wooden bullies and the platform. And then a person is going to stand here and he is going to do the plastering. So basically what I'm trying to tell, when I'm doing this thing, that means the person is working at a height of 15 meters somewhere here. Okay, not 15 meter. Yeah, 15 meter, because if each floor is 3 meter, 5 3s are 15 meter at the height. In order to reach this mason at a 15-meter height, you're supposed to provide the scaffolding. So for outside plastering, when you do, the work will be more, because if it's not easy to put up the scaffolding, isn't it? You require a labor to put up the props, then you're supposed to keep the horizontal platform. Then again, you put a vertical prop and again you put a horizontal platform. So here more labor is required, more work is gone. That is why in the outside plastering, you can take this scaffolding charges on a little higher side. Whereas when you go for the inside plastering, in the inside plastering, this clear height is only 3 meter. You do in the second floor plastering, you come to the third floor. Again, this is 3 meter height. Then again, you come to the fourth floor. Again, this is 3 meter height. So here, there is no much problem. But here you cannot remove, no, because outside plastering will be always like you have to keep on increasing the height of that wooden bullies or the platform, and then you reach to the top. Here, since you have a slab, you have only 3 meter coverage. I mean, 3 meter vertical distance. So in the inside, your scaffolding work will not be much when compared to the outside. That is why in the outside, you can take a little higher amount. Okay. That is the main intention here. Other than that, I feel rest all things you can do it on your own. There's nothing. It's like Control C, Control V. You copy everything. Just add the total, add water charges, add GST, add contractor profit, and add assess. So it comes out to be 403 rupees. Great. Good. Now, other than that, now I'll go with the 6 mm plastering. Again, in the 6 mm, it is written. Okay, you have to go and check out in the code book 13.6.1. I have written the same thing here. Okay. For 1:3, I have taken it is 13.16.1. 13.16.1. So it is 1:3 ratio, and this is a rate what they have given. Okay, this is a rate what they have. Same thing I have done it here. So here first we'll start with this 0.072. How it is coming? Again, it's the same thing. What you do for 10 square meter, and it's a 6 mm plastering, so it will be 0.006. Okay, so it comes out to be 0.06, but I got it 0.072. The reason is that for a 6 mm plastering, they're going to allow you almost 20% wastage. So you multiply this by 1.2, that is 20%. So you'll get 0.072, and that is what you can see here, 0.072. Okay, that's it. After that, this rate you can put on your own for 1:3, and then labor and all, everything remains the same. You know the charges, you know the constants, and then here extra for removing the burrs, cleaning with wire brushes, pork making with pointed and all. That means, see, since it's a ceiling plastering, your slab surface should be uniform. If there are a lot of undulations and all, then what will happen? You need to clear those undulations and all. For that, you require a extra brush to clean all those things. So lump sum, they've added some 28 rupees. So you can directly add like 30 rupees extra, or let us say 40 rupees is required to purchase a brush to clean all those things and all. Okay, that is one thing you can do. Other than that, the scaffolding and the sunrise, you can put like 24, or let us say 25 rupees. You can add it here. Okay, so this thing you got for what things we are adding it here, for removing the burrs, for cleaning and all. We are doing all these things. Okay, fine. Now you go for the total. So total will be add everything. You'll get the total. Then you keep on doing the same thing. 1% is water charges on this amount. Then you do the total. On this amount, you add 14.5% of GST, you get 270, add it. Then you add 15% contractor profit, you get 328. So then you add 1% cess, you get this. So this is 2546 for 10 square meter. For cost for 1 square meter will be 254.628 rupees. That's it. Whatever you got here, 254 for ceiling plastering, we have put 253 here. Okay. And we have done 254 here. You're getting my point, no? So in this way, you're supposed to do the rate analysis for the plastering. So most of the things, whatever you are supposed to understand, I've explained you. Other than that, it is 13.16.1. So we'll go with that 13.16.1. So it is written here, okay? For 6 mm plastering, you will go with 1:3. Suppose if you feel like you have to go with some other ratio instead of 1:3, you can go. For 20 mm plaster, if you want to go with 1:2, then that rate analysis is also done. Okay. For 15 mm plaster, if you want to go with 1:2, that is also there. So in this way, whatever ratios you want. Okay. Suppose if you want to do 18 mm plastering, few people do that. Okay. That also you can do. Okay. So in this way, lot of things has been given here. Just go through this and you get an idea how it has to be done. Okay, most of the things I've covered from here. Now we'll come to the main part, that is, once I'll explain you one by one the this part. What is that? Uh, Wastage part. Okay, let me check out what all things I've written. So first I'll put it in this way. Okay, yeah. So for 12 mm, you can go with a wastage of how much? 15%. Okay, okay. And for 15 mm plastering, you can go with a wastage of 12%. That is how it is. Yeah. And for 15 mm, it is 15%, not 12, sorry. For 15 mm plastering, you can go a wastage is 15%. And for 20 mm plastering, you can go with 12%. So 20 mm, you can go with a 12%. Okay. And for last was 6 mm. For 6 mm, we went with 12%, I guess. Right? For 6 mm, we went with 20%. Went with 20%. Okay, just remember these values so that whenever you do this rate analysis, no, you can remember. If you want, you can put the percentage here, and you can just drag it. Okay, this will not work out. I'll put percentage. Okay, for 12 and 15, it is 15%. For 12, let me check it once again. Yeah, yeah, it is 15%. This is also 12%. Okay, fine. And this is a 20%. Okay, so that similarly you will get all these answers. This is one thing you need to understand. Other than that, I think I would explain you why you'll go with 12 mm, 15 mm, 20 mm, and 6 mm plastering and all. And especially the one, see, if it is a 12 mm plastering, we go with the ratio of 1:6 is the ratio we can go. Okay, it will come like this. 1:6 ratio we can go. If it is 15 mm plastering, we can go with the ratio of 1:4 again. Okay, 1:4. Okay, and then if it is a 20 mm plastering, again we go with 1:4. Okay, 1 is to 4 we go. If it is a 6 mm plastering also, we go with 1 is to 3. We go with 1 is to 3. Okay. So this also you need to remember the ratios, which for which plastering, which ratio you're going to take. If it is 12 mm, go with 1 is to 6. 15 mm, we go with 1 is to 4. 20 mm, we go with 1 is to 4. 6 mm, we go with 1 is to 3. Okay. This can be even 1 is to 4 also. Doesn't matter. Okay. That's what you are supposed to understand. And yeah, other than that, brickwork part, I think I wanted to explain one more thing. See, if it is a outside, I don't know whether I explained you or not. Just I'm thinking that I not explain you. Okay. So outside plastering, what will happen? Outside plastering will be usually 1 is to 4, and inside plastering will be how much? Inside plastering will be 1 is to 6. What is why these things will be done? Because outside plastering, whatever we do know, that plastering is always exposed to rain. There is a sunlight to that. There is a dust to that. That means the exposure condition we have, it is little harsh. The exposure condition is harsh. Okay. When the exposure condition itself is harsh, whatever mortar we are adding, no, that is plastering we are doing, will make sure that that plastering is strong enough. So that is why we go with 1 is to 4. Because whenever I do 1 is to 4, it's a rich mix. Your cement content will be more. So more gripping will happen. If there is a more gripping due to this exposure, nothing will happen to your wall. In the inside plastering, what happens? Inside plastering, there is no rain. Is it that in the inside, wherever you have done the plastering, whether it is exposed to the rain, there is no rain, no rain. There is no sunlight. Even though sunlight comes, very less amount of sun rays enters into your internal wall. There is no dust also, right? Since the exposure is mild here, exposure, I'll say exposure is mild. So what we do, we can go with 1 is to 6, because 1 is to 6 is little weaker, or the concrete is not as stronger as 1 is to 4. Even though it's not stronger, we don't have problem. The reason is that since there is no much exposure to the rain, no much exposure to the sunlight, there's no much dust, we can go with 1 is to 6. So this is why the concept of 1 is to 4 and 1 is to 6 has come into play. Now the next question is, for 4.5 inch brick, 4.5 inch brick, we go with a ratio of 1 is to 3, or sometime we can go with 1 is to 4. Why is that you're going with 1 is to 3 and 1 is to 4? The reason is that this 4.5 inch wall itself is a weak, right? See, all this outside plastering, what I did, it is we are going to do this on the 9-inch brickwork, right? So this is on the 9-inch brickwork, BWL, right? Even the inside plastering, whatever we are doing, okay, we go with a 9-inch brickwork, 9-inch brickwork, okay. But again, 4.5-inch brickwork, wherever we do, we go with a ratio of 1 is to 3 and 1 is to 4. The reason is that your 4.5-inch brickwork itself doesn't have much stability. When a brickwork itself doesn't have stability, then what we do, we try to decrease the, or we try to increase the strength of the mortar. 1 is to 3 ratio is much stronger than 1 is to 4, and 1 is to 3 ratio is much stronger than 1 is to 6. So what we do, we try to increase the strength of the motor. If the strength of the motor increases, I'll write like this: if the strength, strength strength of mortar increases, increases, the strength, the strength of brickwork also increases, isn't it? So that is why wherever we have 4.5-inch brickwork, okay, if you had seen my this thing, what is that? In this 15 mm plastering, wherever we did, no, this 15 mm plastering was done in a half brick masonry. So 15 mm plastering was done, isn't it? So that is why, in order to increase the strength of the wall, we go with a wherever 4.5-inch brickwork is done, we go with a 15 mm plastering, and the ratio is usually 1 is to 3 or 1 is to 4. So you got a complete idea, right? Why all these things are taken into picture. So this is the main explanation, or this is the main intention. Okay. So this is how the entire explanation is done. That is why we go with the different ratios. You can go with any ratio, like instead of 9-inch, you're going for 1 is to 4. You can go with 1 is to 3 also. But again, there is certain limit for everything. If you do 1 is to 3, again, it will be more, what will happen? More strength you'll get. But again, unnecessary, your cement content will increase. So your cost also will increase. So always we want our structure to be safe, and also it has to be economical. We feel by going with 1 is to 4, we are making it stronger, and also it is economical. Okay, that is why all these different ratios has come into play. And this is why all this explanation I have done for you. Okay, great. So I hope you have got a complete idea from this lecture, like why there are different ratios, why we are supposed to take 12 mm, 15 mm and all. Okay, great. So in the next lecture, we'll see about other part. We'll see about TMT bars. We'll check about the painting part, how the rate analysis has been done. So try to practice up to here. Try to gain a good confidence in this area. Try to see how this rate analysis has been done. Okay, try to go through all these slides. Try to see how these people have done the rate analysis. Okay, so we'll see you back in the next lecture. Thank you.